This is something interesting. They get these two group shaders and they're basically adding dust on top of here, right? Take a look at this first shader here. I'm gonna hit this and I'm gonna hit it, change it to 0 on the value. So I'm gonna hit 0 on my count. I have a clock next to me ticking. We'll wait till it resets. 13, 14, 14 seconds for that to resolve. Okay, now I'm gonna switch this over to the bottom setup. I'm gonna do the same thing. Let it set up first here. I'm gonna go to 0 and I'm gonna hit 0 when it turns to second. 1, 2, 3, 7 seconds. Okay, 14 seconds for the render to come through, 7 seconds for it to come through here.
If you're still using color mix nodes inside of your node graph in Blender Octane, you might be doubling your render time. I'm going to quickly show you by removing that one node and replacing it with the composite texture node, which is native to Octane, might reduce your render times by half. Take a look at what I'm talking about.
I was running into this issue where I've been using the Octane cycles converter, and sometimes it's converting stuff. And once it converts it, it's extremely lags the viewport, and I couldn't figure out why. I kind of knew why, but I wasn't sure. This confirmed it. So if I jump into this top shader, this is the setup here on this top shader here. So basically, I've got a fall off map going through a gradient map into a mixed color node. This mixed color node is the cycles wrapper node. Okay. Then I got a dirt texture going into that same thing as being screened. And then I got a fall off that's going through a multiply texture, and then that's going into another one. I got a noise texture, which is going into another cycles mix wrapper node, and another cycles mix wrapper node, and another cycles blah blah cycles mix. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles fake nodes here. Now, if I jump into my other setup, it took me a long time to figure out how to get this to convert over. I wanted to not use those. I wanted to basically use native nodes for Octane. And now you can see I've got composite, same setup here. Look, I took those same setup here, the noise, and it's into a composite texture layer setup into a base. It's basically a composite texture, right? And I have a value of white, same thing, composite texture node, and I'm still doing the same math: multiply, 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 screen. Now the thing, whenever you're using composite texture nodes, they work in the reverse order, so they stack from bottom up, not typical Photoshop depth down, top to bottom. They stack opposite. So you'll see this is basically, in the other node, I had this fall off was up on the top and it was screen. So this is vice versa. It's the opposite. You got to remember that when you're using composite texture nodes, it works from the bottom up.
If you guys are enjoying this type of video, this is the type of stuff I do inside of my Blender Octane community. Links down below.
What I did was I rebuilt that. The biggest problem I ran into at first was I kept thinking like linear. Like I was taking a master composite texture node. So I would basically take, for example, one of these, and I'll put all the layers into this one composite texture layer, and then I will plug this one composite texture to right here to the output. Doing that, it didn't allow it wouldn't work because I needed to have these, I needed to mix these, and then I still need to have this independent value. Well, that kind of zoned on me where I finally figured out that I had to stop thinking like you don't have to have one massive composite texture group. I have all these little subgroups here, like just literally using one. And then what dawned on me was the texture output right here is green. So that allows me to go right back into my standard texture compositing workflow. Because if you're using a composite texture, first of all, you pop out one of these and then you pipe out one of these. And like I was getting stuck because I couldn't get out of this loop here, and not realizing that this was here, and that allowed me to move on. And the reason why, what really opened my eyes to this was, let me quickly pop this open. Alec in our group here did a texture, we had an AI type thing challenge, and he did this texture setup, and this thing was massive. And I'm like, how? And like his response time, and when I'm moving around in this, it was way faster than mine was just in that little cycles wrapper node. Like it was taking forever to do any type of adjustment. And I'm like, how does he have this massive setup here and he still has pretty much, real time rendering and like no massive lag that I was dealing with? So I went back into his file here. Look at this, gorgeous. I still got to break this file down. I've been lagging on that start. I went back and I just started looking at how's he doing this displacement map. Well, we know you got to have a texture displacement to do any type of texture displacement. And then I noticed he had the bake texture node. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, you got to bake it. And then I saw this. I'm like, wait, he's got a composite texture node plugged into the bake texture node right here. This connection made me think, whoa, I don't have to have this massive group and then be this be plugged into this and be done. I saw that he was like breaking off and doing all this little math, multiply here, a normal here, and just using it just as more like a color mix node in a sense. Like you got to really start to think differently. You got to think like, okay, I need to do some math. I'll do the math off of this composite texture node, and then I'm backing out to my texture output right here. Okay. So the only time that you really limit it is right this connection into here. But this is not a big deal because this is only going to connect to this. But this allows us to come back to go back into our green train here. You can see green, 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 white, white. This breaks it right there. So going through this whole setup that he's got, like, just made me really see like we're doing it wrong. Like trying to use the cycles. Let me pop back over. We got to stop this render. If you got another file open, you can't have both renders going on both files. It'll crash Blender. So let me come back here. Like we need to stop when you're doing with Octane. We really need to stop thinking like this. These color mix nodes. Like you can do it, you can use it, but the more of these you use, the more laggy it gets. I have a max haze assets that I converted, and like I have like 10 of these, and it is painful to work in that file. Like any little adjustment, I try to slide this and like it stutters and like even right now, look right now, look how stuttery it is, right? It's horrible. It's these because these are OCL, I think OCL scripts or something like that, and they're not totally optimized for performance. They're just a wrapper to help people out, try to come over from cycles to something they're familiar with, right? But on the back end, it's really slow. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I was on this all day trying to figure this out. I'll share this little group, this right here, this little node dust shader with you guys. I'm happy that I figured this thing out because now the render time, it took 14 seconds for that other one to come through, and it took 7 seconds for this one to come through. Night and day different.
If you guys are interested in learning more about Blender Octane, links down in the description, or you can take a look at this video here.